We are going to redo the wonderful world of feet and what their function is. We've been working on creating shape in the foot, activating different parts of the feet, but now we're going to actually look at their function and how we use the feet and what they should be able to do. So that means we're going to be looking at balance. So one of the things that happens over time is that we start deactivating the feet. We start using the feet as minimally as we can. Instead of using the entirety of our footprint, which should look a lot like the Hang 10 logo, we end up using only portions of our foot. And then we get things called neuromas. Our feet start deforming into bunions and hammer toes. Our toes start to splay. All sorts of weird things happen in our toes as we start doing the minimum with our feet instead of what the feet are supposed to do. So we're going to re-look at the foot. We're going to activate the whole of foot. That's your big toe, the corresponding metatarsal head to the big toe, the outer four toes, and the heel, because these are the 3 points of the tripod. What makes the foot really unique is that it has 3 points of contact with the earth, but it actually has 4 sets of arches. You have the anterior arch, which goes across the front of your foot, the lateral arch, which goes on the side of your feet, the longitudinal or medial arch, the arch that everyone's so worried about because they can see. And then finally, this weird one called the spring arch, which is just right in front of your calcaneus or your heel bone. We're going to activate all those arches so our bodies can do the appropriate thing. And so this is kind of where we start today. We're going to start with our feet parallel, hips width apart. This is your ASIS. This is your pubic symphysis. We're going to go midway in between where your hip joints are. So your stance is way, way, way more narrow than you think it is. So hips width apart is this distance. Then we're going to do everything we just talked about. You're going to push down with big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer 4 toes and corresponding metatarsal head. But as always, focus on that pinky toe because that's the first point of contact we lose because it's the smallest. And then finally, our heel. You're creating that tripod in your foot that really holds and anchors you to the earth, not excessively into the heels. You actually should feel, as we talk about next, one third the weight goes through the ball of your foot, 1/3 the weight goes through your toes, and 1/3 goes the weight goes through your heels. And this is where we're going to really see if you got this, because we're going to turn muscles on to create that athletic ready posture. We're creating a spring action in the lower half of your body and that lift through your torso, and finally the riding reflex in your head. Okay, we're going to do a few squats here just to activate the proper musculature. Keep your abs engaged, your shoulder blades are down and back, and you're breathing. See what it feels like to have your feet fully engaged. Notice if you shifted weight into your favorite pattern, or are you keeping all the points of contact down? First chakra, your pelvic floor is firing up hard right now. Second chakra, your lower abs is also doing the same thing. Third chakra is closing everything up. This is how everything works together. And you see now how the arches in the feet correspond with the pelvic floor and the abdomen. Smiles are up. Okay, now we're gonna see if you are using your feet properly. We're gonna shift into balance. You're gonna take your left foot off the ground and we're going to balance. Slight bend in your knees, shoulder blades are down, back, chest is up, head's over the top of your foot because that's the only point of contact right now. Your hands are relaxed. We're just breathing. We're trying to keep the motion in our hips and not in our foot. Notice if you're trying to balance off 2 points of balance or 3 odd points of balance in your feet, get into full contact with your foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Put your foot back down again, parallel. Okay. You're going to balance now onto your left foot. Notice what your balance is like. Abs are on, shoulder blades are down and back. Head's over the top of your foot. You're breathing. Notice what your toes are doing. Are they lifting up? Are they doing something funny? Are you going into your metatarsal heads instead of your toes? Are you trying to drop into your heel? We're trying to get this uniform footprint going again. Motion comes from your hips, not from your foot. So any corrections you need to be made are made around your center. Smiles are up. Try not to use your arms as much as possible. And then foot back down. We're now going to balance on our right leg again. As you're balancing and you get your center, you're going to close your eyes and see what balance feels like. There shouldn't be a difference between eyes open and eyes closed. If there is, you're becoming visually dominant, or you have a complete loss of sense of balance if you can't do it with either. Either way, it's a matter of practice. So if you feel yourself falling off balance, that's what we're doing today. We're practicing back into balance. Smiles are up. I like that. Practicing back into balance. Now we're going to switch sides. Eyes open first. Just notice what your balance was like on one side of your body with your eyes closed. And now we're going to do it again on this side. Keep your eyes closed. Notice if you're following the same direction or a brand new direction. Keep your abs engaged. Your core is what protects you and orients you. Notice if one leg is clearly better than the other leg. Keep breathing. And good. We're going to come back onto our right foot. As you're balancing on your right foot, I want you to take your left foot forward off of the ground, like you're taking a step. Right hand comes forward more towards the line of your navel, and then your left hand goes back. You're taking a step. You're breathing, chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. You take like 3,000 of these, 30,000 of these. No, 3,000 a day, 5,000 somewhere as a good citizen of Hawaii. That means 1,500 of these a day will be on one foot. Okay, now you're gonna take that same leg back behind you. Woo. Left leg goes back behind you, right hand's back behind you, left hand's forward, chest is up. This hand, your left hand only goes to the level of your navel, your right hand's the one that matters because it matches the leg behind you. Left leg is straight. Don't put a bend in that left leg, straight left leg. Just notice what your balance is like as we switch sides. Okay, you're balancing on the top of your left leg. You're gonna take your right leg forward, left hand forward, right hand back. Your right hand's your counterbalance, so make sure it's back there. Left hand's only to the level of your navel. Ah, Miss Maria's here. I will move to the side. You're balancing. You're sucking in your tummy. You're watching alignment. You're breathing. Jaws relaxed. And then you're going to take that left leg or right leg back behind you, left hand back behind you, right hand forward, chest up. So you don't slouch on this. This is what happens over time as people start slouching and walk starts falling apart. Make sure all toes are down.
And don't forget the absent.
Yes, she's talking to you guys again. Right leg is straight and good. We're going to go back to our right foot. So we did it with our eyes open. That means we're going to try it with our eyes closed. Because if you think about it, like 5,000 steps a day, and then we blink at an incredible rate a day, depending on sun or glare, sooner or later, you're going to be balancing with your eyes closed. So we have to be able to do it. So you're balancing on your right foot. We're going to take our left foot forward, right hand forward, left hand back, and then you're going to close your eyes and just see what balance feels like. This will explain if you're bobbling while you're walking, or if you fall over unexpectedly, or you trip.
Because you have your abs in.
Yeah. Her eyes are closed, so she shouldn't have seen that.
I can feel it.
Oh, okay. Keeping your eyes closed, take your left leg back behind you, right hand back behind you, left hand forward. Left leg is straight. Notice that you want to bend that left leg back behind you. Keep it straight behind you. Woo. It's okay if you bobble. This is the time to do it. This is time to figure it out, not when you're walking on something dangerous. Abs are engaged. And good. We're going to balance on that left foot. Eyes open first. Just get your balance. Right leg forward. Left hand forward. Right hand back. Abs are nice and tight. Notice what your foot feels like underneath you, what your balance feels like through your core. First, second, third chakras are on. And then close your eyes. Keep breathing. Keep that energy of lift going on. We're in athletic ready posture because we are doing something active and dynamic. Ooh. Oh, like I said, this is the time to bobble, not when you're walking a scaffolding 10 stories up. Okay, take that leg back behind you. Right leg back behind you, left hand back, right arm forward, chest up. Right leg is straight. You're breathing. Notice what balance on this leg feels like.
10.
Okay, standing on 2 feet. Notice now if you feel the energy down in your calves or up in your core, you should feel it in your core, not your calves. Okay, now we're gonna get our block. We're gonna stretch our calves first before we do our next thing. Just put your left foot on the block, right, left heel is down, both feet are parallel. First, second, third chakras are on. We're gonna start out by just pumping your hips forward. This is in case you accidentally use your calves instead of your core. They both begin with C, so I could see how that's confusing. Calves are nice and tight. Keep breathing. Okay, we are just going to immediately switch. Ooh. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy, pump those hips forward. Abs. This is core activated work. You don't want it to be calf activated work. Okay, so block aside for a moment. Balance back on your right leg to see what balance feels like. It should be easier. If it got harder, it's because we lengthened the calves and you were using your calves for balance. We want to use our core for balance, so keep your abs engaged. A lot easier, huh? And then we're going to switch sides. Just lock it in, abs are engaged, shoulder blades are down the back, head is over top of your foot. Smiles are up. Relax your hands. Okay, we're gonna use a roller on this because it's kind of important. Actually, no, we won't. We won't. We're gonna look at one-legged dynamic motion of the lower extremity. This is part of athletic ready posture. First, there are several options on this. Actually, let's do all the options. So we're gonna start out on toe on your left leg. Abs are nice and tight. The majority of weight is over the top of your right leg. So I want you to get your head over the top of your right leg since it's doing the majority work. You're gonna lower down and you're gonna come back up. Your left leg is just there for balance. Abs are nice and tight. Smiles are up, core is on. What number is that?
10.
Okay. We're gonna switch sides. You're on your right toe. Majority of weight is on your left leg. That means your head's over your left leg. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're gonna lift and lower off your left leg. For right-handed people, this should be easy. You're breathing. Suck in that tummy. Don't let any work go into your low back or your knee. We're not working joints, we're working muscles. Remember?
10.
Okay, we're gonna go back to our left foot. So our toes are on the ground, giving you a little support. Next level, your toes are off the ground. Abs are nice and tight. Once again, your head's over the top of your foot, your abs are engaged, and you're gonna squat away. Watch the alignment of your knee. Don't let it buckle in. That's the danger place. It's okay if you fall off balance, just correct and restore. Keep breathing, keep smiling. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. You're gonna take your right leg clean off the ground. This is walking. We do this all day long. So if you're having troubles doing this, your walking is really beginning to break down. Yeah, it's okay to bobble. That's normal. Just fix it. Abs. Keep the work in your butt, your quad, out of your low back and your knee.
10,
Okay. Next one's a little trickier. If you want, you can have your roller nearby. You're gonna grab your, what is it? Left ankle. Abs are nice and tight. Okay. Keep your knees together. And this is the extreme case where you don't have your leg there as a compensation. You have to put all the work into your right extremity. Suck in that tummy. Notice if your foot's doing something funky, keep your toes down, keep that tripod on, keep major muscles working. We're working those muscles and not your joints. So nothing in your low back or your knee. What number is that?
9, 10.
Good job, everyone. It's there for balance if you need it, but don't use it as a crutch. Grab a hold of your right ankle. Knees come together. Abs are nice and tight. Watch the alignment. Suck in that tummy. Oh.
10.
Okay, good. Now, we have used the legs the way they're supposed to be used. They should be tired. You should feel your quad muscles. You should feel your butt. You should not feel your calf, your foot, or your neck. You should feel those abs have work too. We're going to take our, let me move some stuff aside. We're now going to take our, what is this? Right foot forward, left foot back. Your abs are nice and tight. We're going to start out with our sit-ups in this position. So turn out this knee. Abs are nice and tight. Straighten that rear leg. Send your hips backwards. Hand goes on your knee. Front knee is bent. Knee is over top of your foot. We're going to just suck in our tummy and then release. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. See what that feels like. Feel what it feels like to have all your toes activated. We're working on balance now. Okay, stay in this position, suck in your tummy. Take your right hand back behind you as you lift and lower your front heel. Chest is up. The energy should stay in your butt and your quad. It should not drop down or into your calf or go into your low back. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy.
10.
Okay, let your heel drop down. Abs are nice and tight. Now we're going to hinge forward and then come back up. Really light on the roller. You're not using it as a crutch. You're using it to help pull you further forward with a straight spine. All your toes are working. Now checking out, check in. Chest up. Feel the tripod of your foot now. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna shift the weight forward. Remember where your rear toes are. You're gonna lift them and put them back down. Lift, lower. Watch the alignment of this knee over top of your foot. Your head doesn't move. Head doesn't move. You're just lifting your legs. Abs. Notice what your foot's doing. Are you starting to modify your foot position? Switch sides. We're going to get into our lunge position. You're making that hang 10 footprint against the ground. So all your toes are down, ball your foot's down. You're going to bend your front knee, rear leg is straight. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to push your hips back. You're going to lean forward. And we're going to do sit-ups first. Suck in that tummy and then release. Suck it in, release. Keep breathing, keep sucking in that tummy. Smiles are up. Okay, now you're gonna lift, lower that front heel. So we're working on balance. We're working on arches of the feet. You should feel this in your quad and your butt, and that's it. Abs are on, lats are on. Okay, here we go. We're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. Again, you're not using the roller for balance, you're using it to pull your arm forward with a straight spine. Keep breathing. It's like the perfect bowling motion. Okay, now remember where your rear foot is. Your head doesn't move. Knee stays over the top of your foot as you lift lower this leg. Don't move your head. Smiles are up. You don't want to create wrinkles on your face of frowning, which far too many people do. And then they have to get Botox to counter it. Okay, we're standing on 2 feet, feeling what our footprint feels like. Abs are nice and tight. You should have a good sense of the ground underneath you. Your knees will automatically want to bend. Abs are nice and tight, hip circles. Keep breathing. Opposite direction. Just so wonderful the gardeners chose today to work on the yard of our neighbors. Okay, good. Just see what stance feels like. Move your legs around. They should feel very dynamic now. You should feel easily athletic and ready. And your upper body should feel upward. Okay, we're going to come down to the ground. But when we come down to the ground, you're not using your hands. Get back up, Annie. Don't use your hands. So you're coming down to the ground, getting in the habit of not using our hands to come to the ground. That's a really bad habit. In this position, our legs are going to bend. Good correction, though. Abs are nice and tight. Your toes are pointed back behind you. You can move closer. Notice Maria's toes are pointed back behind her. Her chest is up. Her shoulder blades are down back. We're going to lean back. You're going to feel that your quads are really tight. And that's because we've been using them. Lean back further. We're going to do our sit-ups, suck in your tummy, and then release. But really go through the motion of properly sucking your tummy. And as you do it, feel what your toes are doing. Are they trying to like gnarl and push into the ground with the top side of your foot, or can your feet relax? Okay, we're going to come forward. We're going to curl our toes under. If you feel excessive pressure in those metatarsal heads, really push those heels back. You shouldn't feel it in your metatarsal heads. You should feel it in your calves. And then the plantar fascia of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're going to lean back. I got short arms, so I have to use blocks. You can use blocks most certainly. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy once again. Feeling for your toes and the ball of your feet. Are all your toes down? Are all the balls of your feet down? Does it feel like one toe, like your pinky toe, is carrying all the work, for your second metatarsal head, something unusual? Should be everything except your heel. Abs are nice and tight. Good. We're going to go back to toe pointed again. You're leaning back again. I want you to feel for everything again. You're going to lift your hips up this time, suck in your tummy. And we're just going to do it with our hips lifted. No pressure near your low back. If there's pressure in your low back, it means you need to tighten your abs a lot more. Smiles are up. These are sit-ups. You don't do all sit-ups on your back. A lot of them are doing separate functions. Curl your toes under. Remember, balance out the work, so it's not all in your metatarsal head. We're leaning back again. We're going to push our hips forward. Try to get your knees together. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy, release. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. Keep doing that. Change the shape of your abdomen, lengthen your quads. And you can see how your quads could accidentally take over the function of your abs. Okay. You can put your feet underneath you as you just kick the ground. Yeah, good. We can sit back down. We're going to do a couple of pelvic floor exercises. Ball is on top of your block. You're going to have a seat on top of your block and ball. Ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone, not on your tailbone. Smiles are up, shoulder blades are down and back, abs are nice and tight. We're going to start out by squeezing that ball. Release, squeeze, release. Feel what your feet are doing. You should feel a gentle activation of the arches of your feet as you tighten your pelvic floor to squeeze against the ball and as you tighten your abs because they work in conjunction with each other. So feel your feet working. Keep breathing. When I was a kid, we had this game where we had like a ball bearing. It was like 3 pounds and you'd have to hold it. You couldn't put it down. So you do something with your right hand, then you go to do something with your left hand. You would shift the ball into your right hand or left hand, whatever. You just go back and forth as you're doing things, but you would have to hold it. That is the nature of the balls of your feet. When you're balancing on your right foot, it carries the majority of the weight. And then that makes your left foot active to work. And then when you're on top of your left foot, it's carrying the majority of the work and your right foot is free to work. But what stays in conjunction with that ball in this metaphor going back and forth between your feet is your pelvic floor. So we're learning to keep the pelvic floor on as we work our feet in different tension loads. So we're taking our right foot forward. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to do sit-ups here, suck in your tummy. So the tension load is with the foot that's on the ground. But you can activate both feet. That's a more ideal situation, but it means you have to be able to sense both of what your feet are doing, your right foot and left foot behind you. Okay, we're just going to switch. It's not particularly hard, but it's a good exercise to remind you. Foot's down, engage, lift. Rear foot is engaging lift, and then you're bringing it all to your pelvic floor. That's why when people have pelvic floor issues, we know that they have foot problems. And if they have foot problems, we also know that they have pelvic floor issues. It goes back and forth just like that. Okay. We're going to put both feet down. This is the fun part. Your feet are parallel, your chest is up. We're going to lift both arches into the pelvic floor and really feel your pelvic floor tightening. Stay off your tailbone. Okay, then we're going to take our arms to the side. So we're going to do our pelvic floor bounce, which is a great way of starting feeling the pelvic floor. But notice how the feet have to activate. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. Now, arms go over the top of your head. Maria and I are blocking volleyballs coming over the net. Abs are nice and tight, block. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. Yeah. You can even dance around, but keep your pelvic floor on. Notice how dynamic your feet are. Make sure your toes are down. This is really easy because you're feeling pressure against your pelvic floor. To drop into your heels and lift your toes up, keep your toes down.
We might have to do a pelvic floor bounce wave.
Wave! Okay, hands on your knees. And then we're going to do our recovery position. Keep breathing. Suck in your tummies, then release. Suck in your tummy and release. Your goal is to get your navel as close to your spine as you can. Close up your rib cage. Activate that pelvic floor. Okay, we're going to make our way back to the ground. Remove your block and your ball. You can hold on to your ball. We're going to need the ball. I'm going to move the microphone. There we go. Okay, hands are back behind you. Feet are flat on the ground. We're going to do pelvic floor activation along with foot arch lifting. So you're going to activate your feet. You're going to tighten your abs. You're going to lift up your pelvic floor. So you're learning to activate all of them together again. But you didn't even know that that's how they worked. Well, you do if you have to go to the bathroom really bad, because your feet start hurting and you start doing the dance. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do it again now. We're going to contract your quads as well. So quads, pelvic floor, and arches of your feet. Quad, and everything fires up. Tighten those abs. Look at your abs. See if anything's happening. See if it's coordinating with your feet and your quads. Okay. Arms go out in front of you. Feet on, quads on, abs on. We're going to do sit-ups. Every time you do your extra, tightening your quads and the bottoms of your feet. Keep your pelvic floor on. Suck in your tummy. This is how you do a sit-up. It involves all of your lower extremity. Keep breathing.
Okay.
Okay. Hold for a second. Keep your pelvic floor on, keep your feet on, keep your quads on. Okay, here we set up again. We're going to do our Bruce Lee punches. So your arms stay straight. You're punching with your torso all the way from the bottoms of your feet, through your quads, through your abs. And you can see why this would be such a powerful punch.
Exhale as you punch.
Keep breathing. Suck that tummy in. Lift those arches. Activate your quads. It's just fun. Okay, legs go straight. Ah. Hands go back behind you. Okay. Spread your toes. Bring them together. Spread your toes. Bring them together. Keep your pelvic floor on. Keep your abs engaged. You want the toes to work in conjunction with your abs, so don't shut off your abs in order to wiggle your toes. Don't use your nostrils in lieu of your abs. I see this happening.
10.
Okay, good. Staying here, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. You're gonna lift the arches of your feet. You can actually dome your feet like that. Okay, quads go on, abs go on. You're gonna suck in your tummy, and then just do it again. Feet, quads, abs. Just do that sequence. Feet, quads, abs. Pulling the energy up.
10.
That's 10?
Yeah.
It's like 4.
Okay, you do
No,
more
it's okay. So keep everything on. Lift your balls of your feet or arches of your feet. Quads go on, abs go on. We're going to do our sit-ups. Suck in your tummy. Contract. Contract. People get injured when they don't activate enough muscles for the activity that they're doing.
10.
Or they put too much energy through one group of muscles only and not through the whole of the body. Okay, we're gonna do our Bruce Lee punches now. Abs are nice and tight. Feet go on, quads go on, abs go on. Punch to left, punch to right, quads, quads, and abs. Work your abs and your quads, suck in your tummy, and exhale. Tuck it in. Keep those quads on. Notice when your feet fall asleep.
20.
Good job. What happened? Our jumpers off the ball. We're going to rock from side to side. Okay, so if you feel this in your low back as we're rocking from side to side, it means you accidentally used your psoas muscle. If you feel tightness in front of your hips right here, that means you used your iliacus or even your rectus femoris too much. But if you feel it down here where your six pack's supposed to be, that is a great sign because that means you used your abdominals instead. And that means you chose wisely. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. Oh, keep breathing. And bend your knees. You're gonna lift your booty up. Ball goes underneath your sacrum. Your legs go up in the air. We're gonna work your toes, so this will be fun anyways. You're gonna spread your toes and then bring them together. Spread together, spread together. Go ahead, look at your toes. Look at what they're doing or not doing. Get them to behave. Notice if your hands are accidentally working. We're working our toes, not our hands. Keep your abs engaged. Keep your pelvic floor on. They all work together. Notice if your eyes don't want to look at your toes. This is an interesting phenomenon. If I don't know, if I don't see, then I don't know, and then therefore it's doing the right thing, and then you'll be running your feet like the government of the United States. Abs are nice and tight. Okay, now you're gonna curl your toes, like curl those toes up, and then you're gonna extend them. But you're not moving from the ankles yet. This is just toe work. This is helping the intrinsic muscles of the feet. That means the muscles only located inside your foot area. And then we're gonna get the extrinsic muscles in a second. Remember that? Oh. This is just fun. I love this one. Notice if your calves are tightening up. Okay, now we're gonna add, you're gonna push, this is called plantar flexion of the ankle, and then your toes are gonna come towards your nose, and then your ankles are gonna point towards you, and then you're gonna curl your toes. Toes to your nose, toes away. Toes to your nose, toes away. Keep breathing. This is fun. I like these. This is really working the calf muscles to do the proper thing. Okay, now we're gonna reverse it. We're gonna plantar flex your toes, curl your toes. And then as you dorsiflex, you're gonna point your toes to your nose. Toes away, toes to your nose. Toes away, toes to your nose. Just go back and forth. Oh. This is the kind of ankle rehab everyone needs to be doing. It's foot rehab that most people don't even know that they need to do. Notice how quickly things fatigue, and you can just let your legs hang. Just do a little flutter kick right here. Abs are nice and tight. This is to open up the knees. Remember, there's no pressure into the knees because we're non-weight bearing, so you shouldn't feel pressure or discomfort or pain in the knees. If you do, figure out what muscles you have to turn on to protect your knees and make that motion a little bit bigger. Abs are nice and tight. This is to stretch out your quads and reactivate blood back into your feet, because your feet are used to getting a massive amount of blood sent to them because we're standing all the time. So blood just drains there. What we did is we reversed the function. The feet went in the air and it was deprived of blood. And that's why your feet cramped up. Okay, take your feet to the ground. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna rock from side to side again. Opening things back up again. Keep sucking on tummy. This class wasn't necessarily physically hard, but it was mentally hard if you did everything properly. Okay. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to come back up again. We're going to do a little stretching with our feet and the hips. You're going to take this leg down in front of you. Abs are nice and tight. I want you to massage out your foot first. Just get it to be nice and relaxed and loose. Notice if there's any tension in the feet and just try to release it. You can get the arch, bottom of your foot. You can do what mine is doing and do like CPR to revive your foot. But these feet are so important. It's the only physical contact we make with the earth since we were like 3 years old, because only 3-year-olds sit on the ground. So if your sensors are perceiving the world inaccurately or they're misbehaving and only making 2 points of contact or an aberrant pattern of balance, you're going to get poor information. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Oh my. Keep breathing. Jaws relax. You can do Maria's CPR, foot CPR. Okay, now we're going to put our right leg back in front of us. And then you're going to stack your left leg in front on top of that. If you have short arms, you can use your blocks, which I do, to give you a nice tall lift. You can rock your hips from side to side. We're opening up the glute medius, glute minimus on the sides of the legs, which are essential for walk. You can rock from side to side just because it's fun. Keep your chest up though. Don't round your low back. Tighten your abs, close up your rib cage. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And then we're going to rotate to the left. Keep your chest up nice and tall. Keep your head over the top of your pelvic floor. Suck in your tummy. Suck in your tummy. We're going to do sit-ups here. So tighten your abs as hard as you can and release. Tighten your abs, release. This will activate your obliques. Chest up. Okay, we're going to rotate to the left. Same thing. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down, back, head's over top of your pelvic floor. And then we're going to do sit-ups as you suck in your tummy, release. So what was really interesting, little Wolfie started eating some of the puppy's dog food. We're going to switch sides. You're going to put your left leg down and right leg on top. It was a different food than she's used to eating. So she got a little clogged up and she couldn't move. Her little tummy became so distended she didn't even want to walk because her tummy was full. And so Mari had to massage her tummy, and then we had to start walking her again to create twist in order so she could eliminate. Chest is up. Same with humans. That's what we're doing now. We're working on the intestines so you can eliminate. Because the worst thing in the world is hearing that people suffer from constipation. And if you don't think it's a reality, go into any drugstore and see how much of the drugstore is dedicated to getting things out of your body. Abs are nice and tight. Rotate to the right. Chest is up, head's over top of ball. You're going to suck in your tummy. We're doing sit-ups. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. Yeah, it's really interesting. If you think of a drugstore, you will see that the majority of what is in a drugstore is for pain relief and helping you poop. Switch to the opposite direction. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing, keep that chest up, shoulder blades are down and back. We're creating that rotation so you don't slouch over accidentally. You're gonna learn how to lift as you contract your abs. Okay, good. Take your legs out in front of you. You're gonna jog them out. If you take your average person and ask them to tighten their abs, they have to slouch. You guys now know the trick. You don't need to slouch in order to tighten your abs. Okay, good. Oh, come into kneeling one more time. Shoulder blades are down and back. We are going to work some of the shoulder stabilizers real quick. All you're going to do is squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. Squeeze down and back. Pop that chest up. Down and back. Down and back. Abs are nice and tight. We lose what we don't use. So if you want good posture, you gotta use being able to pull your shoulder blades down and back. And it's amazing how many people say, "Oh, I don't want to do this." Well, then slouch. You're on a great trajectory. but this is how we undo. Okay, now we're gonna make it a tiny bit harder. As your hands go and stick them up, squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, keep your abs engaged. As you do this, you should feel your abs firing like you've done sit-ups or doing sit-ups. Okay, rest your arms for a second, get some blood back in them. And then here we go. Arms over the top of your head. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Arch your spine, but keep your rib cage closed, abs engaged. Keep breathing. So this is the other half of athletic ready postures, the upright body. So now we're gonna lay on our rollers lengthwise. Your butt's gonna be at one end. Your head's gonna be at the other end. Your feet are gonna be parallel. Your knees will be bent. Athletic ready posture. Okay, once your feet are parallel, I want you to lift your arches up. Abs are nice and tight. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Then tighten your pelvic floor. Close up rib cage. Second chakra. Keep those arches lift. Keep your quads on now. Abs nice and tight. Arms go straight out in front of you like you're sleepwalking. You're breathing. And then we're gonna shift all the weight onto that left foot, like we talked about, like putting the ball bearing in your hand. All the work goes into your left foot and your pelvic floor is activating. Hold that balance. It's okay if you bobble or weave. This is the time to do it. And good. Go ahead and put your foot back down. Reassemble the arches in your feet. Post reset. Abs, shoulder blades, arms in the air. Ooh. Left leg up, get your balance. Like I said, this is the time to bobble or weave where you're practicing. Not when you're performing. And good. Right leg goes in the air with your hands once again. Now we're gonna set everything into motion. Sucking that tummy. See what it feels like to move things around, have the things cross midline, go outside of midline. Ooh. Hold that core on. This is practice. Keep your abs engaged. And good, foot down. Reassemble the arches of your feet. Activate your abs once again. Hands go up in the air. Leg goes up in the air. Set everything in motion. Keep the arch in your foot going on because it's taking over work. Keep breathing. And good. Go ahead and put your foot dead back down. Reestablish balance, reestablish lift. Quads go on, abs, lats, head over at top of your pelvic floor. You guys stay here. Sometime during the day, I want you to redo your balance to see if it improved or got worse. If it improved, you activate other muscles. If it got worse, all it means is that you have to work on some stuff. So breathe. This is how important patterning is and balance is and proper usage of the foot. So watch the alignment of your feet. Notice Maria's foot, we got a nice arch on the bottom of her foot. Knees are over the tops of her feet. She's lifting up, drawing energy into her pelvic floor. Her abs are engaged. Her shoulder blades are down, back, head's over top of ball. This is setting up good athletic ready posture. Just feel what it feels like to let it set in. Notice what it's like to breathe. Some of the biggest struggles you will deal with as you age is falling, or issues around falling. And it's because somewhere along the line, we made an assumption at about the age of 18 that we had every movement mastered. We didn't have to practice it from that point forward. But we have to continuously practice balance. Like I said last class, I was walking by a doorway and my arm caught the door frame. And it's really easy to say, oh, I just misstepped. But what I had to really look at is what was I trying to do and what did I fail to do? And what I failed to do is move my body around it. I couldn't move my body around it because I had a tight adductor. But also the other missing information is foot placement, foot usage. So I had to go back and try it again until I did what I meant to do. So anytime you run into something, catch coffee table with your toe, or the corner, the wall, hit your head, you have to do it again until you do it safely and the way you want to, or your body will automatically assume you can't do that and start taking things away from you. So my big thing recently is I've been bumping my head and Maria just rolls her eyes. But what I should be doing after I bump my head and I get the proper sympathy from Maria is to do what I meant to do and take my head out from underneath the cabinet without running my head into the cabinet. And that's the act of recalibrating and allowing us to successfully age or decondition. So breathe the last few breaths. Feel what it feels like to be in your center. Feel athletic ready posture. Feet parallel, arches lifted, knees over tops of feet, quads on, pelvic floor on, abs on, shoulder blades down and back, head over top the ball. Just think how many more activities you could integrate this into. Now breathe. So on behalf of Maria and me, we'd like to say thank you for being here, supporting us, showing us up, and doing the crazy things we ask you. We appreciate you very much. And namaste.
Namaste.
This is an Ami.
Direction?
Okay, legs will go straight. You can keep your hands on the block as you start doing your hip circles first. Suck in that tummy. Move from your hips, not from your knees or your ankles. Go in the opposite direction. Smiles are up, chest is up. Okay, now take your hands off the ball. Hip circles.
Off the ball?
Off the blocks. Abs are nice and tight, hip circles. This is where you correct balance. If you suddenly fall or feel yourself falling, you correct it from your hips. Opposite direction. So we have to be able to do this easily, beasily. Try it with your eyes closed. Okay, good. All right. From here, you're gonna take your, left leg, put it down. Right leg goes back behind you. You're gonna put the ball underneath your, left butt cheek. Oh, we're gonna stretch side to side. We want a really straight spine. No rounding of spine, abs are engaged, no pressure in your low back. Just rocking side to side to open up. Now, your abductors. Your glute max, glute medius, glute minimus. Tensor fascia lata. All those guys. All the muscles that take your legs apart. Okay. Bend that rear leg behind you. Continue to rock side to side. Abs are engaged. Suck in that tummy. Okay, now you're gonna put your right arm down on the blocks. You go take your left arm, put it on your booty or into the air or back behind you in a bind. Either way, abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. Wiggle your hips side to side. Because it's just fun. You could be like Mario and be cool. I just have short arms. Yes. Good. Last thing, just sit up really tall. You can even use your blocks to help you do a sit up really tall. Abs are nice and tight. I want both quads firing. You get to clench your right butt cheek. Keep your abs engaged. No pressure in your low back. Chest up really tall. See what Maria's doing? I'm actually doing the same thing. You can't tell because I'm facing you.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, good. We're gonna come out of this and we're just gonna go into a three-legged dog. Three-legged dog. Oh. Good. We're gonna switch sides. You're gonna put that ball underneath your right booty cheek. We're only putting it there. You don't need to have it there. It just gives you some idea of motion. You have to move forward. There we go. Left leg goes back behind you and directly behind you. I'm gonna start out just wiggling side to side. Leg is back behind you, your abs are engaged, you're sucking in your tummy. Okay. Oh yes, we reach back. Oh, we just bent our rear leg and you're going side to side. Abs are nice and tight. Reach back and grab it? No, we didn't.
We went down.
We went down. Oh yeah, that's right. You can put your leg back down. You're gonna go onto your left elbow, or as Maria's probably gonna do, she's just gonna extend her arm. We're gonna twist. You can put your hand on your butt. You can take it into the air, or you can bind it back behind you. Chest is up. Abs are nice and tight. Spine is straight. This is axial rotation. Okay, good. Come out of this. You're gonna go nice and tall. We're gonna arch in the opposite direction. Notice the alignment that Maria has and the arch that she's creating that looks just like mine if you could see me from the side. Chest is up. Keep breathing. Yes, Maria and I look exactly the same. Oh, the small dog is suffering. Okay, we're gonna come out of this into a three-legged dog.
Our new puppy, though she is cute, is trying every means of manipulation. Okay. Come back into kneeling. Just notice how everything feels after what we've been through. Notice how different breathing feels. We are going to go into spinal rotation now, which is the axial rotation that's most needed in the body and we most neglect. How I know? It causes the belly to hang out. And I know because I'm guilty of it. So we're going to go on our backs. Oh, and we're going to remember the microphone. Ouch. And we're going to straighten our left leg. Our right knee will be bent. Then you're going to bump your hips over to the right. You're going to take your left knee over to the left. And you're just going to go into spinal rotation. Try to keep your right shoulder down. Keep your abs engaged. As you breathe, you're further trying to twist your internal organs as well as your musculature, because this, at the end of the day, is what it's all about. It's twisting your internal organs. Could you imagine in old folks' homes, instead of making people take laxatives when they got constipated, they actually took them for walks? Okay. We're going to switch sides. As you now straighten your right leg, bend your left leg, bump your hips over to the left. And then you're going to take your left knee over to the right. Spinal rotation this way. Try to keep your left shoulder down, abs engaged. Your goal is to twist your internal organs as you breathe. Okay. Come back to center. Straighten out for a second. See what the ground feels like underneath you, given what we've done. We are almost done. Almost, not quite. Mario's not going to like this, but we're going to sit back up again. Yeah. Sit back up again. Yeah. And we're going to put our knees out in front of us. Okay? Hands will be in the air as our knees are out in front of us. You're going to drop your knees over to the right. And then all you're going to do is stretch to your right. Then you're going to come back to your center without putting your hands down. Knees to the left. Body to the left. Just go back and forth at your own pace. It's okay if you start waddling forward.
As you go down, if you notice your belly pressing out, try to suck that belly button to your spine. Use your abs as you're going down.
That felt good. We're gonna do on this next piece, a variation of what Mario sent me on Instagram. We're just gonna go up like this. We're gonna do the easy version. Mario sent me of this guy hopping back and forth. We're not gonna do that. You're gonna go into tabletop position. Just opens everything up. Opens up your biceps, your pecs, and makes your butt activate. Tighten your abs. You're gonna move your hips side to side. Not your knees, but your hips. That means you have to use your obliques. Yeah, it was crazy what this guy was doing. He was hopping from left side leg, left side hand to right side leg, right side hand, very quickly. Huh? Funny. Don't look at my abs like they're doing something wrong. Okay. Last but not least, you're just gonna put your knee down. You're gonna stack this leg on top. We're gonna go into fire log position, chest is up nice and tall. If you're on the tighter side, you can use some blocks to help you get up tall. We're just gonna hold this. Good job, David. Now chest up. There you go. We're gonna rotate over to the left now. Head's over top of your body. Still axial rotation. Tighten your abs. Okay, you're gonna rotate to the right. Chest up nice and tall. It's so funny when you watch other people stretch, it looks so delicious. But when we feel our own body stretch, our brain's going, no, 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 you need to stop. This is not good. Head up, chest up, heart up, there you go. Okay, good. All we're gonna do is switch legs. Left leg is down, right leg's on top. You can pop your chest up using your blocks, or not. Yeah, you can try to get that right knee down. Go, David, there you go. Now pop your chest up. You can use your blocks, it'll make it easier. There you go. And now we're gonna rotate off to the right. Chest is up, nice and tall. You know, I'm not so flexible, but what's really scary is I am way more flexible than I was when I was 18. And I have a whole lot less back problems than when I was 18. Imagine if I started stretching when I was 18. Okay, opposite direction. It's left, chest up nice and tall, rotate. Okay.
Something's being murdered in the house.
Yes, you can't hear it, but the little dog is screaming like she's being murdered. Okay, chest up nice and tall, just jog out your legs. Okay, you guys have made it through the hardest part. Now we're gonna get our roller. We're gonna really work on athletic ready posture. As your butt goes on the roller, your spine goes on the roller. Your head is gonna be just barely slightly off the end of the roller, just enough so you can get the pelvic floor over the top, or head over the top of the pelvic floor is what I'm trying to say. Your feet are parallel, your knees are bent, knees over tops of your feet. So this is athletic ready posture. Feet are parallel, knees are over tops of feet. Knees are flexed, hips are flexed, you're long through your torso, your head is over the top of your pelvic floor. So the reason we want the head over top of the pelvic floor is there's something called the tentori cerebri. And that's a membrane that holds the brain in place. And when we want it over the top of the pelvic floor because that way they work together. So every breath you take now pumps the brain as well as all the internal organs. So as you do, inhale and exhale. Feel what it feels like to work through the diaphragm and the bottoms of your feet, which are your arches. Lift those up as you breathe in. And then exhale out. Feel the balance. Feel how elongated you feel compared to when we started this class. You guys stay on top of your rollers. I'm going to gently roll off the roller as I bring you home. Oh. Ooh. So notice the centering that your body has gone through as you created that elongation. The awareness of the axial plane in your body, which is a very uplifting axis. As you rotate, you should elongate. And if you do it correctly, it causes your torso to elongate, and it will allow your legs to stay soft as springs. Continue to breathe. And just breathe in what you want out of life. If you want joy, if you want expansion, if you want meditation, just breathe it in. You want peace. You want groundedness. Draw it in. If you want abundance and you want ease, breathe it in. So on behalf of Maria and me, we would like to say thank you for being here, all that you bring, all that you're willing to try, all that you're willing to contribute. We appreciate it so very much. Thank you, and namaste.
Namaste.